We're going to continue our talk on diversity with looking at clothing. I thought it would be interesting to look at different types of clothing that they wear in different countries, but more specifically, I found something for wedding ensembles, wedding outfits. So, like, close your eyes, and if you close your eyes and you think about the last wedding that you went to, or a wedding maybe that you see on TV, I bet you're picturing the bride in a white dress, and maybe it's like strapless, or it's got like little straps, maybe kind of tight at the top, and then maybe big and flowy at the bottom, like a princess dress. And maybe her hair is like up in curls or fancy at the back, or it's down and curly or fancy, or she has a crown or a veil. That's a very specific bridal outfit for American culture. And then if you think of the boy, I picture a man in like a tuxedo or a really nice suit, usually black, but it could be like dark blue or white or gray. And usually there's like a vest that comes with it and a nice tie, sometimes a bow tie, and then like a little colored swatch fabric coming out of their pocket that matches the girls, maybe a flower, a boutonniere, and the bride has a bouquet. I forgot about that. So that's exactly what I picture when I think of an American wedding. But different cultures have different um, traditional outfits to wear for weddings. So let's look at some of the diversity that you see in wedding outfits. So first up here, I have an Indian wedding. So it's very typical for them at an Indian wedding to wear like a pink or red wedding dress instead of white. And you can see it looks very, very different from what we just discussed or pictured. They've got this very fancy like headdress and jewelry on their faces, so very different. Another culture, a Nigerian bride, so from Nigeria, that's like in Africa. Look at this, very pretty. Like all of these are very pretty, but different than what we're used to. It's diverse. So she has some kind of veil, bright orange. It says that they wear brightly colored clothing and have a head tie called a I don't know if it's gili, but look at that. It's very different. And she's got some very bold jewelry. Very cool. All right, next up, a traditional wedding in Ghana. So this one, look at those clothes. Very bright. I think of these colors when I think of African clothing because that's very common African clothing. But they are matching, and what does it say about them? That they're very colorful, and they each have their own cloth pattern. Oh, on the bride and the groom's wedding outfits. Okay, so they've got like patterns. This one is in Mongolia, and it says that they wear a pattern clothing. And so look at, I mean, so different than what we're used to. All these jewels, this big, very big, it looks very heavy hat or headdress. Awesome little outfit. Not little, that's like big fancy. It's got that the bottom part kind of reminds me of a lot of wedding dresses that we see in America. So again, remember when we talk about diversity, diverse means different. It doesn't necessarily mean bad or scary. It's just something different that other cultures might embrace. So Japanese wedding, they are more typical with the clothing colors like what I picture in America. So a pure white um, kimono for the woman, and then the man, it looks like he is wearing black, but it says that the bride may change into a red kimono to symbolize good luck, like maybe at the reception. So this looks a little more similar, but still different than what I'm used to. I'm not sure what this is around his waist, and her hat is very, very different from what I'm used to seeing. But look how pretty the patterns are on her kimono. That's pretty. All right, next one, a Kazakhstani bride from Kazakhstan. Very different than what we're used to. I mean, I guess the white is the same, but the headdress looks like what you'd see like in medieval times, where it's like that pointy one. Hat does have a veil. Very cool. Look at all the ruffles and the sleeves. Typically wears a headdress known as a sakyo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, with a veil. So that's normal. And okay. Interesting. Next one is a Scottish wedding from Scotland. And as you can see, the bride is wearing a white dress, but that plaid is a very typical pattern in Scotland, and the man is wearing not a dress, not a skirt. It's called a kilt, and it is a very typical, customary Scottish um, outfit, clothing. Traditionally wear the kilt of his clan for his wedding. And then the bride wears a shawl with her new husband's colors to signify that they are now a family. But he also was wearing a kind of a suit. If you just saw this part, this and a little bit more, actually looks fairly similar to a traditional American wedding. So everybody has different customs and traditions, and I love looking at them because it's so interesting. This one is Ukraine, and as you can see, she's got like a very fancy headdress on. He's got a really neat hat. You can't really see their outfits very well though. Romania, again, so different. Look at all those beads around her neck. That is like super fancy. Let's see if it says why she has all those. No, it doesn't really say. Next one, we've got a bride from Gora region that's in like Macedonia. And look at that. Like that to me looks so different. Now, I'm not going to say it looks bad or ugly because it's just different. That's what diversity is all about. Like I would never dress like this for my wedding because that's not my culture. That is not a custom for me. But I mean, think about how long it probably takes to do all of that makeup because it's very intricate, very fancy. All the beadwork on her outfit. Wow, like that's probably days and days and days worth of beading. Very neat. Chinese wedding, they have the color red to symbolize good luck, it says, and it keeps away evil spirits. And it's traditional that they wear red. Does that mean everybody does? No, just like not every bride wears white in America. It's traditional, and that's what you usually see, but not always. All right, so there's a couple others I'll scroll through quickly just so you can see that there's just so many differences, so many diverse wedding traditions when it comes to their outfits. And I mean, look at the man here. This is very different. So we don't just want to focus on the outfits, although that is something different. Clothing, the styles that people wear in different countries change from culture to culture based on what is in style and popular there. But next, I'm going to have you guys watch a video, and I want you to really, really, really pay attention to the diversity, the differences between what you're used to seeing and what you see here in the outfits that they wear, the activities that they're doing in the different countries, their skin color, like what their skin looks like, and the buildings that you see in the cities. All right, so go ahead and get out of this video and watch the other video link I have on social studies for today.